on to Spooky Japan podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, Jeff with Crossover Research. How are you doing today?
Doing all right. How's everybody else?
We're doing pretty good. We're happy to have you on our show. So, what brings you? How did your journey into the paranormal begin?
I started my journey. Here we go. That one's better. You still see the dog in the background though. I started. I started when I was actually a kid. Not knowing, what the paranormal was, of course, but I interacted with spirits when I was a child. It wasn't until later on in my teenage years that my grandmother, telling stories and things like that, would point out that I had a gift, and kind of help me develop in my, education in the field. I started, branching out, learning through research and books and different, pretty much just books, different conventions, things like that, trying to grasp as much as I could in my teenage years. And 20 something years later, I'm one of the people that like to go out and find out what's really going on in the world that we can't see and can't experience, unless you actually, of course, go out in the field.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because I realized I had that's similar with me, where I realized I had a gift early. But one thing I also say is my experience was a little bit different because growing up, I was a minister's daughter, so a Baptist minister's daughter. So to them, having a gift, they feared it. It was more they feared it more because to them, if you had a gift, it means you're either had a demon attachment or possessed or doing something that involved like witchcraft to worship the devil or something. And it was so weird for me to say, but I'm not doing all that as a kid, and no one believed you because you had a gift. So that I was like,
Yeah,
unfortunately, my experience, I tried to hide it for the longest time. But then after like years of hiding it, I just feel like the paranormal says, nope, you have the gift. We know you can sense it. We know you can use it. You're going to use it.
yeah, exactly. I completely understand that, and it's something that when people don't know, of course, they're going to be scared about it, or they're going to make excuses for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of traps you in that bubble that you don't know if you should reach out and find out more about it and actually get yourself educated on it, because it's evil, in their eyes, or it's some type of hex, or there's something bad going on, inside your mind. You're broken somehow, and of course, pray about it. It'll all go away. Just pray about it, but it doesn't go away.
No. And that's also one thing I find funny with Christianity. They assume because part of my gift is I can feel where the portal is, where there's like a portal open, and they assume if there's one open, you cleanse the house once, it's good forever. And I'm like, that's not the case. I,
No, it's not.
they'll find a way to reopen it. So just because you cleanse it once doesn't mean it's A closed or B, even if it did close, it's not gonna remain closed.
No,
Exactly.
a lot
So
of times.
sorry, go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Ari.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Where has been your favorite place to do like research or investigate at?
We go to a place called Penhurst Asylum in Pennsylvania a lot. We go as much as we can every year. And then we also have what we call our second home away from home, which is St. Alban Sanitarium in Radford, Virginia. Um, we go there a lot as well. But those are the two main places, that we spend most of our time and kind of get, acquainted with the spirits there, to where they know who we are. We introduce ourselves, hey, we're back, and it's active right away.
Mm,
We've made that connection with the spirits there at both of those locations, and we try to go as much as possible so that way they don't think that we forgot about them.
It's interesting once you go back to a place, you get to know the spirits get to know you. Because there was a place in the Carolinas that was like that for me where I went all the time, where I got to kind of get to know the spirit. So when I did do different groups, I could already tell going in who is who's not going to get anything, who's
Yeah,
who they're not going to want to interact with, just because I'm like, nah, I already know her. She's not going to like you.
yeah, they're
She's
not
not
gonna
going to like
vibe.
you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, we have that too. When we go, we usually go with different groups of people. And most of them go with us regularly, but every once in a while we bring in a different team or somebody that we haven't worked with before to give them the opportunity to go and experience it. And I have the same reactions with some people. I automatically know once they get there and they start, setting up all their stuff and they're taking all this time to set up their little cameras all over the place. I'm like, they're not going to come out with any of that. They're not. They're
yeah.
That's not the type of place to do that. Of
Mm-hmm.
course you can and hope that you catch something, but a lot of times when they do catch something, it's residual. It's not intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the number one thing that a lot of people catch would be like residual.
hmm And I'm like, they're not going to talk to you. You got a great capture. I'm not telling you that you didn't, but just to let you know that that's residual. That's not intelligent. They're not anywhere near you right now.
And yeah, I know how that is because there's some that people always got that's residual that happens every night. It's just more of a thing who's used to it. But there's also times where it's like, yeah, they're not going to talk to you.
Yeah, they're not. You're too loud, or you're asking repetitive questions, or you're not giving them, the vibe that they are used to. A lot of spirits, they don't trust right away,
Yeah,
Mm-mm. Yep.
so they're not going to just right off the rip start interacting with you. And if they do, it's not a good thing most of the time. If
Yep.
you do something right away, that's not a good sign. They need to
Nope.
build that trust. They need to see what you're made, what you're there for, what you're made of, what you're actually wanting out of them, and if you're going to be respectful or not.
that's also what I say. The number one thing is a lot of people go in these places not respectful. And it's just like it. You have to treat it as you're entering someone's home because that's
Yeah.
what
Mm-hmm.
it is to them. So you come in with a disrespectful attitude. It'd be like if you had a guest that what came over that was disrespectful to you in your home, you're gonna be like, "When can you leave?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to
Yeah.
avoid you. When can you just leave?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always say you wouldn't do that at your grandma's house, would you?
Nope.
That's a good
Would
way to put it. Yeah.
would you
Mm-hmm.
do that at your grandma's house? I hope not.
There's a lot of people because of the ghost hunting shows, though, assume that's realistic, and it's not, which is funny to me. That for some reason that's everyone's expectations going in. And and this is also why I hated doing public ghost hunts with teams because most of the time with me, I'm not saying for everyone everywhere, but I've had a lot end early just because people got in there and they're expecting to get this great evidence within the first hour. And when
Mm-hmm.
I realized there's a lot of waiting around, they're like, well, this isn't as fun. I'm not getting what I wanted right away. So then they just want to leave. And I'm like,
They
I don't
film,
know.
and I try to explain that to people as well, that um I've worked with some people that have been on TV and things like that, and it's not it's sometimes they're days at a location.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an 8 hour, investigation that you pay for, and you're gonna get something every time. I've
Mm-hmm.
been to locations where I'm like, wow, I just spent a lot of money and I didn't get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
But that's also why I keep reiterating to people that once you find a location that you like,
Mm-hmm.
go back as much as you can, because the more you spend time there, it's like getting to know somebody. You meet them, you like them,
Mhm.
You're not just going to be like, all right, I'll see you in a year.
Mhm.
No, you're going to build that rapport with that person, right? Well, you need to do that with the location as well. Don't
Yeah.
just go ahead and, I'm not telling people to not travel. Do it. If you have the money and you can do that, then please go experience as many locations as you can. But once you find one that's close to you that you like,
Mhm.
instead of blowing all that money on hotels and gas or planes or booking a location, spend that money at a location near you.
Mhm.
Build that rapport with not only the spirits there but the owner. Get to
Yeah.
know the owner.
Yeah.
Build that rapport with that community.
Mhm.
And then not only is that good for you, but that's good for them as well, because you know what your money's going to. You know what the needs are with that owner. If it's a new roof or new piping or whatever, you're helping a local owner
Mhm.
with a haunted location that you enjoy.
Mhm.
So it's a give and take, and you also get a rapport with those spirits.
Right. So how? Because I know you said you earlier off the air, you got rid of all your equipment. How do you investigate then? How do you do your research?
I actually, we go as a team, and we have recorders. We of course use, audio recorders, for EVP sessions. We like to do, what's kind of like a round table, where one of us will ask a question, and then we give a couple of minute break, and then the next person will ask the same question and give it a little break. And then the next person will ask that same question until we go all the way around, and then we listen to the recorder, because we have found that spirits don't always like somebody,
Right.
but they might like the next person that's asking that question. Or another spirit will answer, and then a different spirit will answer a different answer to that question. So it's kind of interesting to see how the spirits interact not only with different people but also with that same question, and you might get a different answer, which is really cool. What's your favorite color? Well, mine's orange, but yours might be purple or
Yeah.
pink. So you might get two different spirits answering the same question, which is really cool. Other than that, that's it. We experience it as ourselves. I have found that you yourself is the best piece of equipment that you can have.
Yeah.
Irene
Okay,
definitely is because she's a clairvoyant.
that's
So she'll
awesome.
do investigations where she don't need equipment. But unfortunately, most teams want that equipment because they feel like that's proving it.
It's not though.
No.
Yeah.
It's not though. I mean, I have seen some really phenomenal, I mean, phenomenal captures to where you can't really debunk it. I mean, I have captures that I can't debunk,
Mhm.
but that's for me. That's
Mhm.
that's my experience.
Mhm.
I can't show it to somebody else and say that they're going to have the same reaction that I do. And that's something that I think a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand when they post their stuff on Facebook. They're like,
Yeah.
look what I got, look what I got. And all of a sudden they're getting these negative reactions like, oh, well, I see pareidolia, or I see dust on a camera, or I see a bug flying through,
Mhm.
photo. I'm not saying that your capture isn't what you captured and you believe that that's that entity, but not everyone's going to have the agreement.
Yeah.
So I find that it's best that we, as investigators, use ourselves
Mhm.
and capture ourselves in what we
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That
I have
way,
the same problem. Yeah, I have
yeah,
the same problem. And then one group said, "You got nothing." I go, "Okay, that's fine. That's your opinion only." You know. By the way, I left that group.
but that's your experience,
Yeah.
and people need to respect that.
Yeah.
I've actually stopped um, interacting with a lot of groups,
Yeah.
on Facebook and on YouTube and things like that, because of the fact that if you give somebody your opinion,
Mhm.
I don't want to make you feel bad about what you feel you
Yeah.
captured.
Yeah.
because in my opinion, I may just see a bug,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to pick at you and say that's nothing,
Yeah.
because you might truly believe that you caught something.
Yeah.
And I want to respect that. And I think that
Mhm.
that's something that's really wrong with the community sometimes,
Yeah.
is the fact that we don't know how to respect each other.
Yeah.
And if anything, educate the person on why you think that that is pareidolia. You don't
Yeah.
need to blast them on
Yeah.
Facebook on
Yeah.
their photo, be like, oh, that's pareidolia. Why don't
Yeah.
you get to know that person and message them and say, hey, I want to
Yeah.
show you what I think I see,
Mm-hmm.
and try to educate them. Hello. Educate
Yeah.
them, help them learn and grow in the field. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is you telling that person publicly that they're wrong. Would you like to
Yeah.
do that? Would you want someone to come to your job and be like, you're doing that wrong? You're
Yeah.
doing that wrong?
Yeah.
No, of course not. It's humiliating.
Especially if the audience that was watching the podcast say, "Oh, I see who she's talking up to. I see the spirit in the building," and then the guy who said, "Well, you got nothing," says, "Like, how do you know? You weren't there. Like, you have no idea what I saw. You have no
Yeah,
idea who I was talking about, who I was talking to," and and eventually they said, "Oh, well, that's nothing there." I said, "That's nothing? Okay, that's only your opinion. See ya, bye." And you're like,
yeah, but that's you have to do that though. You have to be able to have thick skin in this field. And
yeah,
that's really sad. It's
yeah,
really sad, especially the United States. You know, it's so big and there's so many teams and there's so many locations and everybody's at each other's throats. Instead of,
yeah,
there used to be this thing called pair unity.
mm-hmm,
We I've discussed this on a show before.
yeah,
It exists less now.
And it really does. And I think a lot of it has to do with social media.
Mhm.
yeah,
There's so many things going on YouTube, and there's so many different people, and there's so many new teams, and everybody's trying to climb on top of each other like a ladder. But the thing is that we all go to the same locations.
yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of us know each other. Now,
yeah,
I'm not saying a lot of us, but in different parts of the country, you're
yeah,
going to bump into each other. You're going to actually acknowledge each other at some point in time,
yeah,
whether it's at a convention or a podcast or, Facebook or something. We're all going to, at some point in time, bump into each other if you're within the same area.
Yeah.
yeah,
You also have to understand, with that being said, not everybody's going to have the same opinions, not everybody's going to have the same way of investigating, not everybody's going to believe in the same evidence. And instead of growing off of each other, being like, hey, how did you capture that, or what did you use to get that EVP, or I did it this way and I got this reaction at this location.
yeah,
Everybody's like, shh, that's mine. That's mine. That's
yeah,
mine. You can't use that. Why are
yeah,
you doing that? Picking and prodding and
yeah,
making you feel like they're smaller than that person just to build each other up. It's like, you're not going to get on TV. It's not going to happen. Stop it.
no,
Just
no,
stop it. Enjoy the research. Enjoy the investigation and seeing what you can capture. You're
mhm,
not going to be famous. Get off your soapbox. Go away.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm lucky on this side because I got a whole bunch of clairvoyants who I can go to and I can say, "Hey, I got something here. Do you want to take a look at it and tell me what you think?" And then we all gather together. We all give our opinions. Yeah, that's what I thought. And if I need help, I always go to that same group of people, and we all help each other. So,
That's good that you have that,
but
because we don't have that much
totally
here.
different with on our angle. We're not just investigating, we're trying to figure out how do we fix it, or how do we help it move on, or how do we help it so it won't bother those people in that house anymore. That's what we do. That's what we do on this side. But
Yeah,
I mean, there's the investigating side who just investigates it, and that's it. But we're the ones who give answers and help them resolve the question, and make sure that they're happy, or make sure that they don't have to sit around in the dumpy old building or the dumpy old house. So that's what we do on this side. So we just we don't stop here. We go beyond it. So making sure that everyone's happy and everyone lives in peace, and we're good on this side. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
it's a
good.
harder it's a harder job on this side than it is just on the investigating side.
I feel like there's a lot of
Mm,
I feel like there's a lot of no research going on in paranormal field. There's
yeah,
some people that actually do try and take the time out to research,
yeah,
but I feel like it's getting less and less.
yeah,
No, it's all about views. It's all
Yeah,
about views right now. And that's just the day and age that we're living in.
yeah.
When I started investigating YouTube, nobody really had a YouTube channel.
No.
I'm talking like 20 years ago.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And we had BlackBerry phones.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have these high tech, in our
We had
pocket
flip
cameras.
phones, right?
Yeah. We did. We had the BlackBerry phones when I started, and you actually had to pay for your minutes.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Call me after 9.
yeah,
I
So
remember that.
yeah,
we didn't have that whole YouTube thing. Actually, we didn't have Facebook. What was it called? Babe, what was it called?
MySpace.
MySpace.
Yeah,
MySpace. So we had MySpace back in the day, and you didn't have all the social media and other people getting in your investigations and nitpicking or trying to get views and things like that. So taking that to today's age, when we went out, we actually went out for a purpose. And it
mhm,
was to actually talk to the spirits, interact with the spirits, find out why the spirit is there. But now it's capture the spirit, get that spirit on camera, and then we're going to post it on YouTube, whether it's actually relevant or not. And then we're going to falsify what the spirit is there and call it a demon or, a poltergeist or, look, I got scratched. Really, when did you get scratched? When, you took a cigarette break? What are you doing? So there's just a completely different idea behind what people are after nowadays. And it's sad. It really is. It's sad to look at how just, within a 10-15 year span, we went from actually investigating and finding out why things are happening to, how many views and how many likes we can get on Facebook or, YouTube.
it goes back to everyone assumes
yeah.
they're gonna get the TV show or be famous from it, and it's not realistic. If that is your only goal,
Mhm,
you shouldn't be doing this.
yeah.
I watched Brandon and Mustafa. They started the haunted. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad now. Haunted discoveries.
Mm,
Haunted discoveries. They were ghost hunters, and
mm,
I watched them for I think 2 years. And I actually spoke to them multiple times about where they were at in the filming process. They had 3 seasons filmed. Well, they were filming the third season when they finally got picked up in Canada.
mm,
It took them 2.5, almost 3 years just to get picked up in Canada, and they were already on a TV show previously. They were on Ghost Hunters with Rachel. It was Brandon, Mustafa, Rachel, and a couple of other ones. But anyway, they actually were already on TV. They were already well known.
mhm,
And it still took them 2.5, almost 3 years for them to get picked up for their own spin-off, which is so much better than what they were doing.
mm,
So it's not easy. It's really not easy, even after you're already well known.
mhm,
You've got um, they just spun off onto YouTube again.
mhm,
Chelsea and Dakota and them.
mm,
They were
Project
already on.
Fear.
Yeah, Project Fear. They were
Yeah,
already very well known, had all of these people promoting them,
mm,
and just one person took them off of TV and they're back on YouTube. Now,
Yeah.
granted, I'm really happy for them. I still watch their show on YouTube. I think they're great people. I have met them. I haven't worked with them, but I have met them before. They're really down to earth, really awesome people. Um, but that shows you you're not going to be on TV. It's not that easy. People that are very well known and have their own money to fund their stuff, and they still
Mm-hmm.
have to fight and claw their way back onto TV,
Mm-hmm.
and have to do it in another country to boot. It's
Yeah.
you're not going to be special. You're not special. Stop falsifying evidence and trying to
Yeah.
grow your YouTube channel. You're not special.
Yeah.
Project Fear did do
GoFundMe.
a
Yeah,
GoFundMe to be
yeah,
able to fund being able to do it. They exceeded it, so they were able to get, I want to say, 4 seasons.
yeah,
On
something like
YouTube.
that. But yeah,
And
yeah, they're
two of them are international. Right now, they're in the UK
yeah.
somewhere.
Mm.
Brian and Rochelle. That's who I was thinking of. Brian and Rochelle.
Mm.
Hello. But yeah, there. I mean, it's 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 really hard. It's really hard to explain to people. Don't give up on your hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
If you want to be on TV and
Yeah.
you want to do it for your long time goal,
Mm-hmm.
do it, but do it legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drop the D word, which is demon, just
Yeah.
to get views. Be
Yeah.
truthful, be honest about what you're doing, do it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
Because you're still affecting other people. They
Mm.
may be spirits now, but at some point in time, they were a living father, brother, mother, daughter, whatever. Respect them as such
Yeah.
and do it for the right reasons. If you're meant to do that, people will get to know you. People will get to know your honesty and you're legitimately, doing it for the right reasons. And they'll want to work with you as well, which will help you grow.
Yeah.
You know, they will. They'll come in time. Just do it the right way.
You
Yeah.
may not be posting the most exciting evidence, but it's real evidence. People who actually do this, not for the views, you build a better reputation compared to when people who do actually do the research and they're watching it and they're just like, okay, you clearly fake this for the views. You're clearly lying for the views. You're not gonna have the best reputation in a paranormal community.
Oh, and you'll
Yeah.
be shut out so quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen it. I've been a part of it. We have called out people, and at one point it was kind of like a game, who can call out the most people with falsifying their evidence on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And we kind of in the community collabed. It was like, this person's doing this person's doing that, and next thing you know, some well-known people started getting called out.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that I had worked with in the past, even, I'm like, really? Wow. Really? That
That's
person?
news, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like a shock, because you start realizing even the people that you know and that you have worked with in the past, people started noticing things on their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And you start noticing things and you're like, why? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't have to. You had a good
Yeah.
reputation. Now you're destroying it for what? Views?
Yeah.
And the sad thing is one of the people actually I was really upset about, because I had invited him to Penhurst with us. And I was like, I brought you to like my home.
Yeah.
So I feel when I brought
Like
people back
a
home,
couple,
and I'm like,
yeah, and then a couple of weeks later, it ended up on Nuke's top 10. His video showed up on Nuke top 10, and I'm like, wow, look at that. And next thing you know, as soon as it dropped on Nuke's top 10, everybody saw it, and then that's when everybody realized that he was falsifying evidence,
hmm,
and it went into Devil's Hours production, who he worked with, and they called him out publicly.
yeah.
And next thing you know, I'm like, wow, that's messed up.
You definitely have to be careful with what you do with your reputation, because as someone pointed out, in the paranormal community, you either know someone, you either know them, or someone you know knows of them too. So
Hmm.
it's a very small community. So if you start getting called out, it's gonna spread.
Yeah, it really is. Um, and not everyone's gonna get along. All right, don't take. Hi, Jeff. Saw you on Jenny's show. Really? Yeah. Thank you very much. I love Jenny. I was actually supposed to be on with Jenny tonight, and she had no, Friday. I was supposed to be on with Jenny on Friday, and then she had to cancel because of her mom. And then we were supposed to do one either last night or tonight, and she had to cancel again. So blessings to Jenny and her family right now. She's going through a rough time. Of course, I won't say what it is, but just keep her in your thoughts. She's amazing people. I love her to death. Hopefully everything will work out and we'll be able to collab again soon. But yeah, no, we're a very small community, and we're not always going to get along.
Yeah,
We're not always going to see eye to eye. We have to
No.
accept that. Okay,
Yeah.
but what we can do is just, if you don't have something nice to say, just shut up
Yeah.
yeah,
and leave them alone,
Yeah.
unless they're doing something that is unethical,
Hmm.
or not proper at the time.
Yeah.
I'm not a person that jokes around about the field. I, of course, you gotta have fun. You gotta make it fun. Okay, you're with a dark location for 8 to 10 hours. You gotta
Yeah.
have fun. But there's a time and place for everything, and certain things that I have seen done in the field is not the time and place to do that. And
No.
instead of
Cool. Yeah.
calling them out on it, I just don't work with them again.
Yeah.
yeah,
If that's how you investigate, that's fine, but that's not how, I do it. And I just, part ways, say, to each their own. I don't think that's ethical or polite or the right way to do something. And I
Yeah.
just won't work with you again. Now, if you're being disrespectful and antagonizing and, treating the location like a fun box, then of course I'm going to say something and be like, look, you need to leave.
there
Yeah.
is
Just
people
leave.
I've had to stop working with, and the owners of these locations actually respected me for it when they found out. But we'd be in a location, and the owners would have set rules, or they have set places that they have roped off. They're just like, don't sit in this, don't sit in this, don't go in here.
Yeah.
And there was a jail that had one of their old electric chairs that was roped off, and they specifically says, don't go past the rope and sit in it.
Yeah.
I ended up getting with a fight with someone because they're like, well, when the owner's not around, I'm gonna sit in it. I'm like, no, you're not. Not on my watch.
Hmm. Yeah.
I got in a fight with them too, where their owners found out I got in a fight with this person because I'm like, I'm not. They have that rule for a reason. I'm not gonna sit around and watch you break rules. And
Mm.
they're just like, yeah, okay, I respect you for that because I'm like, I'm not. I'm not gonna sit around when we're in the same location because a lot of people also don't realize this. If you're in a group and
Hmm.
one person starts breaking the rules, that also looks bad on you to the
Yep.
point where the owner might say, "Hey Jeff, you can't come back," and you're like, "That's not fair. Amanda broke the rule,"
Hmm.
but they also think, "Well, you're with them," so it kind of by association, they're
Hmm.
just like, "Oh, we don't want anyone back from cross research because they break the rules."
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things that a lot of people don't understand is one bad egg can
Hmm.
ruin the experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it just, like I said, it depends on if it's the way that you investigate, like using Ouija boards or pendulums, or something like the ruins, whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
That person may not investigate the same as you,
Yeah.
and instead of being a hard ass about it, just don't call them out and be like, oh, you're using a Ouija board. No, just be like, hey, I don't investigate like that.
No.
If you don't mind, go off on your own and do that somewhere else, and then
Like.
you just
Yeah.
don't work with the person again.
Yeah.
as long
You
as
don't
you're
have
not
to be
breaking the
disrespectful.
yeah, as long as you're not breaking that place's rules, I don't care. But once
Yeah.
you break the rules and I say, "Hey, don't do that,"
Yeah.
and you're like, I'm gonna do it anyways. I'm like, no,
No, you're not.
you have to respect that area. I'm like, you have to respect their rules. They have their rules for a reason. You can't just go there and start breaking all the rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that and like I said, antagonizing or trying to stir up the pot like Zach Baggins, then
Yeah.
we have a problem. Then
Yeah.
I will literally be like, here's your $50 back. Use it for gas because you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let somebody be disrespectful to the location and the spirits there just because they watched Ghost Adventures. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it. That's not how proper investigations are. Welcome to TV. That's not real life.
At the
No.
same time as
Stop it.
what people say, imagine if you imagine someone walked into your house and started disrespecting your grandma like that, or walk into your house and start antagonizing you, you'd be like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hurt you, and you're gonna get hurt by doing it. So stop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing, yeah. Because also here in Japan, that's also one thing that we say that if you do get to investigate a place, with the culture here,
Mhm.
before you enter, you ask permission and you say, I'm just here to talk to you. Because
Hmm.
it may be a friendly ghost, but if you just walk in and start investigating, they're not gonna they're gonna get mad. And Irene
Yeah.
can tell you, if you just walk in without saying, may I enter your home, I'm just here to talk to you and bring you no harm,
Yep.
they're not gonna be happy with you because it's like it's think of it as the way is if you just walked into my house and just barged right in
Hmm.
without asking permission, you're even though I'm a friendly person, you just barge into my house. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, in the United States, that'll get you shot.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's we just like knocking on the door of a house. Exactly. When we go into an investigation, even at locations that we are known at, and the spirits do have a collaboration with us. We have a very strong rapport with the spirits at certain locations to where they know us by name, and they'll even say, Jeff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Um, Even there, when we go in, we automatically say, hey, everybody, we're back. It's Jeff and Shanda. How have you been? I'm sorry it's been so long. We miss you. Do you miss us? And then we automatically have that connection where they'll start interacting with us, and we actually hear the voices that we recognize by name. Um, but even when we leave, we're always like, thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you guys again. You
yeah,
guys got to stay here. Like
Yeah.
always, you got to stay here. We'll come back and visit you. But thank you
Hmm.
so much for your time.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
someone asked, where are you from, Jeff?
Where do I live or where am I from?
Where are you from?
Again,
We're
don't
from
post addresses.
no. Right now we're in Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in Louisville right now, right outside of Waverly Hills Sanitarium.
Hmm.
We're probably 15, 20 minutes from there.
Mm. Ooh. Mm.
You mentioned
But
Shane earlier about like respect in the paranormal community, and that's one thing that me and Irene stopped kind of following someone who's starting to become known in paranormal because
Yeah.
and we're not going to name names, but they post like their comment or their post their opinion on a post, and someone
Hmm.
would just go on there and be like, "Hey, I disagree, and here's the reasons why." And
Hmm.
it's very respectful. I'm like, "Well, I don't really agree with this, but here's my reasoning." And they would start a fight with them on
Yeah.
social media, basically tell them they're an idiot because they're just like, "How can you not agree with my opinion? I know more." And it's
Yeah.
just like, but they listed why. And then
Yeah.
of course they got the person starting to get disrespectful. But I'm like, because they started posting like the conversation. I'm like, you also, I know you're trying to call this person out, but you're also showing that they were respectful, but you were disrespectful first.
Yeah.
I know a
Yeah.
couple of people like that. So
Yeah.
after the show, I want to be more specific.
Yeah.
No take home ghosties. I actually really don't mind it. Um, Yeah, I love Waverly. Charlie and Tina. I fully respect and love them. They're the owners of Waverly,
Mm,
and they're some of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your life. Especially Tina. She treats everybody like she's bringing them into their home and they investigate. She used to do little coins and stuff like that, and you do a coin collection every year for people that came and investigated. Super friendly, super helpful, always welcoming. But what was I saying? Thanks. You got me going on Waverly. uh, um,
Talking about how disrespectful some people are. Like if you disagree
yeah,
with their opinion.
yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, we need to be more specific because there's a few people like that. Um, one of them is very dangerous as well. Um, he really kind of creeps me out, and my wife doesn't like him at all.
Ooh.
Um, but no, bringing home ghosties. Yeah, that's what it was. I've brought home a few. I'm not gonna lie, I really have. And I've had to ask some to leave. Some
Mm-hmm.
you just got to set up ground rules with them. We call it home rules. Like if you're gonna be here and you're not gonna pay rent, here's your stipulations.
Yeah.
Um, and we actually had a residential spirit at the house. Well, actually, what we had three. I think we had three at our house in Florida. Um, that we it took a hot minute for us to actually be able to cohabitate together because
Ooh.
we were like creeped out to the point where we were losing sleep at one point because they would when someone's in your face and you're trying to sleep.
Yeah.
And because we have cats and dogs, our door was always left cracked for them to come and go,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
and you could feel them staring at you
Mm-hmm.
through the door crack, and we're like, okay, all right, bub, like this has got to stop. Like I don't care that you're here,
Yeah.
but you got to stop. You got to stop. And they would use our names throughout the like if we're in the house by ourselves, all of a sudden you'd hear your name and you're like, stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not doing that. You'd be in the shower and you hear footsteps up and down the hallway.
Yeah.
And so we did. We over like 7 years, we got to the point where we cohabitated completely fine.
Mm-hmm.
We just had to work out our little quirks. And then
Mm-hmm.
when we moved up here to Kentucky, and we're packing up our stuff, we're like, hey, if you want to come, because I don't know who's gonna buy this house. I'm just letting you know. Like, I don't know if they're gonna be able to cohabitate with you. We've got this, connection going. If you want to come with us, come with us. And I do think that two came. I think two came and one stayed with the house because they were with the house. But it it's whatever you want to do. Not everybody has the same experiences. Not at the house that we actually moved from in Kentucky to the house that we're in now. I came home from a location and our altar flew off the wall. And we had to have a sit down conversation again and be like, look, you can't do this. You came here. This is your choice, but this is my house. I didn't do this at your house. You're not going to do this at my house. And it never happened again.
Yeah. You have two in your house already.
Yeah.
You have a
It's
male
abusive. Yeah.
and you have a female and you have a child.
It might be the child that actually came from the
Yeah.
the other
Yeah.
location. I think that the two that came that are here that they're adults came from the house in Florida, and they're going to continue to follow us wherever we go because I invited them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think the child came from a location.
Mm-hmm. He's
I
about
had
4 years old.
You said 14?
4.
4?
Mm.
Did he come from Penhurst?
I'm asking him right now. Yep. Yep. I did.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um,
You can ask me a question. I can ask him.
what's his name? Because I have an idea who it is.
It's an old name. I'm hearing Joshua or Jonathan.
Is it Jeshua?
Yeah.
And his sister's name is Annie. I don't know if she followed, but there are two that are in the Mayflower building that we talk to every time we come in.
Oh, he brought his sister. She's the quiet one. She
Ask
does
her how old. Ask her how old she is.
3. She's about 3 years old.
Hmm.
Um, geez, it's really sad because his, we're talking about long, long time ago. Okay, his
Hmm.
sister died from something like she got really sick, really fast, and she died really quick. It took him a little bit longer to die. You see, that's why my cat's in the middle there. Sit. Yeah, that's why my cat's walking around because he sees it too. Um, it's just something that's really tragic that happened. And mom, the mother, was wondering where my children are. Like she's calling out to my children. She crossed over, but the kids didn't.
Mm-mm. They're the Mayflower building on the third floor was one of the children's units.
Yeah.
And there is a up on the third floor when you come off the landing, there's a hallway, a really long hallway. And then there's a room to the left that's kind of an octagon shape. And that's where we always sit and interact with the kids. Um I don't know if you know who Tim Coomer is, but he's pretty well known over
Yeah,
here in
I
the
do.
United States.
Yeah.
I do.
He's
He's
come with us to Penhurst on a and he actually saw how I interacted with the kids. And ever since then, he's noticed that when I work with kids in the field,
mm-hmm.
they seem to attach to me.
Mm-hmm.
And these two, well, I only knew of Joshua, but he always tried to attach to me to come home with me.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first that I've actually heard that he actually has come home with me, and now I kind of feel really bad, and I really want June to come quickly so I can take him back. I don't mind that he's here, but I feel bad that I had no idea that he was with me all this time because
Yeah.
it's been 5 months. I think 5 months since I've been there. And if he's been with me this whole time with his sister, now I feel really bad and I really want to take him home.
Uh,
Only because
what
he's
you
away
can
from
do,
his friends and family.
what you can do is you can give him some Jolly Ranchers candy, put it on the table or put it on in a bowl or something so that he could have something because he'll like that.
Okay.
Um, give him offerings. His sister,
Sarah.
she really, like, she was crying when she died because she really didn't want to die. And it's just really bad. It's really tragic and it's really sad. And she was hanging on to whomever was with her, and she just didn't want to go.
Is her name Sarah?
Sarah Ann,
Maybe. I just knew her as Sarah.
she uses they she uses two names. She uses two names. She calls herself. Her mother used to call her Annie and not Sarah, but it's Sarah Ann / Ann. So you'd go by two names.
Huh. Well, now I feel bad because I've only called her Sarah.
Yeah. Um. She. It was really hard how she died, and they were together too.
She always talks about her dress.
Yeah.
She loves her dress,
Yeah. Yeah.
and her favorite color is pink.
Yeah.
But it's not a pink. It's like a pinky red.
Yeah. It's more like a fuchsia, really
Yeah.
dark color, and she
She
likes.
goes. She says it's pink, but it's red.
Yeah. She likes flowers. She likes those little flowers in the garden. She used to pick the wildflowers in the
And they're
garden.
Irish.
Yeah. And she loves wildflowers.
That's great. See, now everybody's experiencing Penhurst in my own home. But yeah, the kids are hard. It's really hard when you're working with kids in the paranormal because
Yeah.
you got
I
kids at
get them
home or
too. I get murder victims. I get kids that were murdered. I get kids who died at the hands of other people. I get those too.
they were
Uh,
really abused.
yeah,
Penhurst. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Penhurst, but it actually made national news because of the abuse that was
yeah,
going on. There was too many patients to staff,
yeah,
and there wasn't enough money given
yeah,
by the state to support the
yeah,
overflow and overpopulation of Penhurst, and it
yeah,
made national news and was closed
yeah.
because of the abuse. The staff couldn't handle the amount of people there. So what they did was, if they were rambunctious or acted out in any way, they
Mhm.
would trap them in caged beds,
Yeah,
and they were or tied to wheelchairs or tied to furniture or left in their own uncleanliness.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and the amount of like if they bit, they would just yank out their teeth.
yeah.
They would literally no anesthetic, no nothing. They just sit them down and start yanking their teeth out with pliers.
Hmm.
And it was really sad and really abusive. So when you talk to these kids
Hmm.
and have a real relationship, and you build that relationship with them, and you start hearing
Hmm.
they're scared. They're constantly in a state of fear.
Yeah,
So I think that's why they've clung on to me and my wife or other people in our group that show them kindness. They're like, oh, let me attach to you because you're so nice and so kind. Which now I feel bad, like I said, because it's been 5 months since they attached to me, and I didn't even know they were with me.
mm. Actually, that's
Yeah.
not a healthy way to do it. You know that, because they don't know that it's good or bad or anything else like that. They just come, but it's really not a healthy way to do it. You know.
Yeah, I don't mind that they're here. And I don't mind that they're here at all. I just wish that I had known that they were here because, I mean, I would have interacted with them and not ignored them if they were trying to get my attention. I'm sure they love playing with my dogs.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think that a spirit can actually accidentally attach to someone. Um,
No, you got to be willing.
yeah, and
You also
that's
gotta have some kind of energy that they
Yeah.
like, or you remind them of someone they knew, kind of thing.
yeah. I don't think someone like a spirit can accidentally attach to someone. I think like they have to be invited to, you
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
or some way open that door.
Yeah.
Like for us, we got such a rapport with these spirits that they I might have actually been forgotten to even tell them to stay. I don't know. I mean, and not intentionally. I would never intentionally bring a spirit with me to my house, but
Mm.
if if they're not causing me any issues, I mean, and not staring at me while I sleep, it's fine.
Or biting you or anything else like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're not causing me any issues and I can actually sleep at night, you're fine.
Yeah,
You're
we
lucky.
had someone on the show I talked to before where he had an attachment, but it's because he was a boxer and his spirit used to be a boxer, so they kind of bonded over we used to be boxers. So he said every time he goes on an investigation and does a spirit box or records, his
Mhm,
voice always comes through too. So he's always following him.
mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. A friend of mine has a spirit that I'm not really sure of sometimes because it's an attachment entity, but it's not. I don't think. I think it's gone past the human stage.
Well, if you
If
send
that
me
makes
a picture of him, just send me a selfie. I could find out for you.
Oh, I've done that with her.
yeah, because I I think that at a certain point in time, if a entity is in a negative way
Mhm.
for a period of time, that entity can mutate, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? How that negative energy molds into something
yeah.
outside the human spirit.
Or it could be good or bad. You could take it both ways. Sometimes sometimes it's bad too.
Who are you
Depending
talking to?
at it.
Oh. But
It could.
yeah, I think it's formed. I think it's now a negative, because I've seen it affect her mood before,
Yeah,
where she's in an awesome, happy mood, and then as soon as she walks in her front door,
yeah.
she's
It
just,
yeah.
yeah,
It just
completely different.
what it's doing. It's sucking the energy out of her.
Hmm.
That's what it's doing, and it's really not good. So yeah, I usually like to get rid of those things, those ones. that
Yeah, and I've actually seen it captured in pictures before too, at
Yeah,
locations
yeah.
where like their group photos and stuff like that, and there's this black mass behind her, and I'm like, boo boo.
That's a
I don't
negative
like that.
entity, and that
I
has
don't
to
like
be gone for sure. Those ones are Yeah, those ones are really not good.
somebody's
Second,
calling you.
yeah, my doorbell. Just a second.
That's the Japanese doorbells. Yeah, so in my old house, it's funny. If you're not in a paranormal, you wouldn't understand this, but back before I moved to Japan, I lived in North Carolina. I did not pick the house I lived in. There was a spirit of an older Southern lady who picked me because the house wasn't really anything I was kind of like looking for, but she put it in my head, "No, you're gonna live here,"
Mhm.
and that's why I moved into the house. Is because of her. She put in her head, "Is this is your house?"
Yeah,
Because something about me, she's like, "I'm picking you."
yeah,
Mhm.
I believe that.
Yeah, she's like, "I am picking you." So I moved in, and it's one of those things where it was her house to her, but she also recognized I'm in the living world living there, so she always left me alone. But it
Mhm.
was perfect because anytime I'd go investigate somewhere and I'd come back,
Mhm.
if you were a negative spirit or there's a spirit who didn't want to do good things to me, not her house. She was literally that old Southern grandma where she's like,
Mhm.
"Not this is also my house in that world." So
Yeah,
you have bad intentions. You're not entering this house. So I
Yeah.
knew because there'd be times where I knew I had felt one watching me or following me. I'd run into the house, but then that's where I knew I was safe because she's like, no, "You're not entering this house."
Yeah.
I mean, you're in Kentucky, so think of the old Southern woman like, "Nah, my
Mhm.
house, my rules."
Yeah.
yeah. That's it's true though. It's true though. The other spirits will throw themselves and be like, no, that's my human.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's my human. You're not coming into my human's area. Get out,
Mhm.
because a friend of mine who at the time I didn't realize that had gone really negative, like really depressed, really negative, came
Mhm.
and visited me in Florida.
Mhm.
And next thing you know, after she left and went back to Pennsylvania, something stayed.
Mm.
And my spirits were giving me signs, like pulling books out and or changing music or changing the channels, and was trying to get my attention and be like, "Hey, yo, something's here. You
Yeah.
got to get them out."
Yeah.
So, and I called her on the phone. I'm like, "Hey, you didn't happen to leave somebody behind, did you? Because something's off in my house. Like the whole vibe of my house is off." I was like, "I've got my spirits trying to get my attention." And she was like, "Oh, I think my mother-in-law got left behind." I'm like, whoop, open window, get out. Like I was opening,
Yeah.
I opened up my window and I started going around my house and like, oh, oh. Yeah, I don't want no other mother-in-law. I got my own. Get out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once enough. To tell you the
Yeah, so I did. I cleansed my house. I opened up the window and I told her, "You gotta go back, go." And I shut my window,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden everything went back to normal. And I was like, "Yep, thanks, spirits, for letting me know that something was something wasn't right."
Yeah. That's what I do for people's houses. I do that. But since after the C word, like everyone's noticing, I got something in my house. I got the devil in my house. I go, yeah, I got a demon in my house. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's fine. I said, you sure? She goes, yeah, 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 yeah. I got a demon in my house. You gotta get rid of it. You gotta get rid of it. I said, yeah. There's only like 2% that happens like that. I only had one house that was really bad, but otherwise, nah. It's just spirits and dark spirits. There's nothing. They're not gonna. They're not gonna kill you. They're not gonna hurt you. And they go, oh, but yeah, it really bothers me. My grandkid sees it running around the house. I go, okay, be calm down. Let me take a look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's people. That's one thing that I'm very passionate and strong
yeah,
worded about
yeah,
is there. Yeah, there's dark stuff. Okay, there's always darkness with light, right?
Mhm.
But you
like
also have to understand that
balance
there's
between the
you.
dark and the light.
Yeah, if you drop the word demon,
Hmm.
I'm sorry, you're an idiot.
Yeah, but you're dealing with people who really,
Watch too much TV.
not only that, they're really scared, right? Like they're flipping. And then you gotta understand, okay, calm down. Let me take a look. Give me those pictures of your house. Let me take a look and see what I can do. And then when I studied the picture, I said, yeah, there's no demon here. I told them, they go, you're sure? You're sure? I go, yeah, there's no demon there. Don't worry about it. I could do it. I'll cleanse your house for you. And they go, you can? I go, yeah, I can. And they go, oh, that's good. How much do you charge? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. I go, nothing. And they go, you're sure? You're sure? I go, yep. Nothing. I don't charge
She
anything.
finds out that she talks to a lot of people who do charge for services, and I'm just
Yep.
like, when did when did paranormal investigators charge for services?
Yeah.
When they thought that they could make money, even though
Yeah.
you're not supposed to do that, and
Yeah, I was like,
we will call out teams for that too, and to the point where they either stop charging money or they don't exist anymore.
Yeah. It.
Because I've
Yeah.
never ever charged for any of my residential
Nope.
services or business
Nope.
services or whatever, or somebody that's just having a hard time themselves and feel like they're in a dark place,
Yeah.
and that's something that people need to realize, that your depression, your mental mindset
Mm-hmm.
can affect the energy around you.
Mm-hmm.
You yourself may be the problem,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
there's nothing in your house. It's
Yeah.
you and your mindset. The
Yeah.
the mental mind
Yeah.
can play tricks on you
And if you
based on
fight,
how you feel.
if you're fighting with your partner in your house, that could create also conflict in your home, and it could create, you bring that energy to your home, and then it just creates a whole mess of whatever, right?
Hmm.
And then, and when that happens, you have to say, okay, you got to stop. either you leave or the other person leaves, or you know, things
Take
have to
a
change.
break.
Yeah, things have
Mm,
to change, and if you don't change, it's going to get worse, right? They don't realize it. They don't realize it. It's just yeah. It
yeah. And so negative energy
yeah
can come in multiple forms.
yeah.
Okay. So, for instance, someone dropping the word demon or poltergeist.
Mhm
Okay. You, it can actually just be a grumpy old man
mhm
Mhm.
that is tired of someone bothering his house.
mhm.
It's just a grumpy old man.
Yeah
Or a southern lady that is tired of somebody trampling through her daisies.
yeah
That
yeah
yeah, that's how my house was, or she accepted me, but not
Yeah,
everyone.
if someone
yeah
playing loud music
yeah
is disrupting
yeah
someone's peace in their home,
yeah yeah
or like a paranormal location, right?
yeah yeah
For instance, you're going into this paranormal location every single day
mhm
of this entity's life
mhm
is constantly in someone else's hands.
yeah
A person or a team constantly asking every single day, "What's your name? You know, why are you here? What year is it? What's your favorite color? Can you knock on this wall? Can you make a noise? Can you let me know that you're here?"
yeah
Every single
yeah
day,
yeah
over and over and over and over. People's different energies, people, that are instigating or causing all these issues. Wouldn't you get tired of it too?
yeah
Once you get tired of it,
yeah
someone coming in up in your house, and it's a different person every single day, people that
yeah
you don't even know coming in your house
yeah
asking you to make a noise. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make a noise today. I'm going to
yeah
make a noise today, and you're not going to like it. Are you ready? And next
yeah
thing you know, oh, it's a demon.
yeah yeah
No,
yeah
Grandpa's just tired of you coming in his house. He don't even know
yeah
who you are.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on,
Or
guys.
making this light, or making this light go off, or something silly
Yeah,
like
I'm
that,
gonna
right?
make that light flicker because I'm gonna make it go.
Yeah
Get
yeah
out. I need peace.
Someone was saying, so I studied basic demonology, and this guy was, that's what he did. He went to all these locations as a demonologist, and he said to put it in perspective for everyone who says everything's a demon, put it more in perspective.
yeah
Just from his experience alone, he's done over 25,000 cases, and he's
mhm
like, out of 25,000 cases, only less, maybe 100 or less, was actual demons.
yeah
Just put it in perspective for
yeah
everyone, he said.
yeah
Yeah,
So more likely it's not a demon. If over 25,000 cases and 100 or less are demons,
it's
yeah
not.
no
I've worked with a demonologist, uh, Father Casey. Um, I've known him for a couple of years now. He's with the Catholic Church. He's a demonologist and an exorcist. And his biggest take on it is you'll know the difference when it hits you in the face.
mhm yeah
You will know real
mhm
quick and in a hurry
mhm
if it's just a really cranky person that's tired of you annoying them,
mhm
or somebody that is, you move into a new location. There's somebody behind me. If there's somebody in a new, move into a new house, and the spirit doesn't like you, you'll know it real quick in a hurry. It's when it's dark, scary, you feel the hair stand up in the back of your head, and you're absolutely terrified for no reason.
mhm
That's when you need to worry.
yeah
That's when you need to worry. When
mhm
you can't explain what's going on around you, and there is no activity like slamming doors or cabinets or the lights flickering, and all of a
mhm
sudden it's just overwhelming you. and you get really sad, really depressed. You don't feel
Mm-hmm.
like yourself. You don't want to leave your bed.
Mm-hmm.
And you're usually now, of course, that basis is on if you normally a happy-go-lucky person, you enjoy your
Mm-hmm.
job, or you may, you go to work every day, you don't have any issues, and all of a sudden things in your life start taking a turn for the worst.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you need to worry. You won't even know what's going on until it's too late.
Yeah, it's totally different. Um, I don't go to church anymore, just because I don't know, but I'm still very religious the way I am. It's just that yeah, people think you should be doing this. You shouldn't be doing what you're doing. And I said, why? And they said, because it's against God. I said, okay.
That's
So
one of the
God
reasons I stopped.
chose me to be one of the chosen people who do special things with special abilities. Why am I shunned? And I don't agree with you. I'm sorry. So if you feel that way, that's fine. I just won't go back.
We all have gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, every single person in the human race.
yeah,
Okay, you have a gift somehow, some way, whether it's
yeah,
um, premonition, you get a bad feeling,
yeah,
or you get bad vibes off of somebody. It
yeah,
may not be much, but it's still a gift. If you walk into a room and you just feel like something's off,
yeah,
that's a gift.
yeah,
Okay, or if you meet somebody for the first time and you're like, you're funky, you're clammy. I don't like your vibe.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
a gift.
I have that
yeah,
one
Okay,
too.
yeah,
you know something's up with that person. You don't know what, but you're like, something's not right with them. They got a
yeah,
body in their basement or something.
yeah,
That's a gift.
yeah.
I have that gift. I can't explain it because I'll meet the person who everyone loves, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't trust them.
No.
And they're like, I don't understand how you don't trust this person. Everyone loves them. I'm like, there's something shady.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
my
can't
wife's got
explain
that.
it. Yeah, I can't explain it. I'm like, it's either a vibe, and some people say it's because it's a vibration that sometimes you feel.
mm-hmm.
Some people can feel that vibration of people's true intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Like that might be it, but I
Yeah,
can't explain it. They find out later. Yeah, I shouldn't trust that person. I'm like, I told you I couldn't explain it, but I'm like, nah, I
Yeah,
don't trust you. I'm good.
yeah,
yeah.
You just
But
fooling everyone else.
it is. It's a gift. Everybody's got a gift. And
yeah.
that's one thing
Yeah,
that I completely understand. You may have a gift and not understand it. Yeah, exactly. You may not
That's
even
true.
know what the gift is,
Yeah,
but every single person is born with something.
yeah,
Okay, you may be a potato, but at some point in time, that potato is going to turn into a baked potato, and you're going to make somebody happy because all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh,
yeah.
you got something with you.
It's just how you use it and where you use it, and if you're gonna do good by it, or if you're gonna use it for something bad. That's the difference. That's a line where you create. And for me, I can't turn it off.
you can't.
It's there 365, 7 days a week, and I'm going. And that's why I get so exhausted sometimes. I just need a break.
Yeah,
And some days I just don't want to talk to anybody. I'm gone. Like, and and for me, I can't go outside. It's just really bad. Um, because Tokyo's a really haunted. It's one of the most haunted cities, and yeah, you don't have to pay anything to see haunted. You just go outside the front door. There you go. Like, and I said, no, not doing that. Not going out. Sorry, I'm gonna stay inside. I'll give my kids money. I said, okay, go to the store for me. Get that for me. They go, okay. I'll get you that. And they come back from grocery shopping for me because I'm not gonna go outside. No, 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 no. I said I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And that's the way I feel. That's the way I see things. And that's it. I'm done. I'm good.
I don't know. Tokyo just seems like a very overwhelming place.
It's not that it as far as the sea is concerned, it's not that bad. It's what you don't want to see, you could see them, right?
There's some place in Tokyo I feel like I would not want to visit because of I know what he's saying. How many
Yeah,
people? Like, what is it? Shibuya crossing? What is that crossing?
yeah,
Oh
sure.
my god, the big one where there's cars and thousands of people trying to
Yes.
cross at the same time. Oh my,
I would never go there. I was just like, I wouldn't know, especially driving. I'm like, how do you know when to go?
Oh, my
eh,
husband drives all the time in Tokyo.
That's what
how?
I don't know how you know when to go. I've seen because I keep watching videos, and I'm like,
Oh, he
everyone's always still walking. When do you
he
go?
learned. He learned. He learned.
I wouldn't want to learn. I wouldn't want to be crossing it in person, let alone driving a vehicle.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. You should see when we go. We should see when we go to the international grocery store.
I don't know. I would just be happy going to the anime area
Mhm.
where all the billboards and stuff are all animatronics and
Yeah.
I would just stand there for hours just
You better have lots of money when you do that.
or play the games.
Yeah.
The coin games.
Yeah. They're about $1 a piece.
Yeah, she my wife watched a YouTuber that is overseas military and
Hmm.
her husband is one of the in the Navy over there and all he does is just give her money every day to go play the coin machines, the game machines and stuff like that. I'm like, "See that I can be that.
He
Yeah.
I
would
can do that.
be
Just give me money. Just
if he's in a Tokyo area, that's Yokohama.
Yokohama."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but she does. That's all she does all day is just play the games to try to stick the tiny little thing in the slot to pop down the toy or whatever, or the egg where it goes around. The what?
Those two,
The
see,
Kacha Bowl. The Kacha Bowl machines.
this
Catch
is
a
my,
bone?
this is my
What?
my teddy bear.
I like that. What is it called?
It's Rikaguma. It sits in my. My kids want it in one of those games, and so she sits on my couch.
I love that. But there's another one where it's like a big circular thing and it
Hmm.
goes around like that and then she takes the shovel and she tries to scoop up as
Hmm.
much as she can at a time. See, I want to do that. But over here we just have knockoffs
Hmm. Yeah,
and it's not the same.
yeah,
You're
It's funny
never going to get the iPad. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah.
it's funny when I came here because people would take pictures of Japanese. They go to Japanese restaurant, take pictures, and send it to me, and I'm just like, you realize I can leave my apartment and get the real thing, right?
Yeah.
That's not what's gonna make me
The
jealous.
sushi conveyor machine.
Yeah.
The sushi conveyor machine where you just pick whatever you want off the conveyor machine. That makes me so happy inside. I'm like, look, it just keeps on going and you just pick what you want.
And
Or you place the order and you
after
don't
so
have to talk to
shit,
nobody.
after
Yeah,
so
that's
shit,
all. That's what most sushi
you
places
get a
are. The
prize.
conveyor belt.
Well,
Most of them are like, yeah, you have a touch screen that you just order and it sends it to you. So you don't have to talk to anyone.
No.
no.
I love that.
And you get a robot that comes and brings your hot food to your table, and then afterwards, when you take the food off the robot, you press the button on the robot, and the robot goes back to the kitchen again.
See, that's so different than here. And I'm the type of person where if I don't have to talk to somebody, I don't want to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Just give me my food
Hmm.
and let me be at peace with myself for a moment,
Hmm.
and then I'll talk to you. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
it's like you got to have your cup of coffee before you communicate with the world
Yeah.
outside. Yeah, just give me my food and let me eat.
My
Then
house
I'll
is
talk to you.
too. I just press a button, and the water gets heated up in my bathtub. I press another button. I can control the temperature that goes in the water. I can control how much water I put in my bathtub. I don't have to get up and do anything. That's my house.
There's a lot of bathtubs that do that, yeah.
My house does that. It's like, I'll show you my panel.
It's like if you don't want to think about it or turn off yourself, you just want to be lazy and relax, you can do that where you're like, just fill up this much and it does it. It stops.
See, that's the noise that you say when you want to call somebody. This heats up the water, so it's 3 degrees centigrade. I can move the panel up and down. This is when I can put new water in the bathtub. This is where I can change. I can turn off the heat gas and I can turn on the gas. This is where I can change the temperature of the water in the sink here. So I can change the water temperature. Make the water hotter and make the water colder. And I can heat up the water in the bathtub for so many, like 8 hours or longer.
Is your toilet warm too?
Yeah, I'll show you my toilet.
Is it warm though?
Yeah,
Babe, they got warm toilets over there.
see,
Oh,
you can turn
My
off the
favorite thing.
panels. You wash your butt, wash your front. How how strong the water pressure you want.
you can change the water
How
pressure.
when you how you keep your seat warm on when you sit on the toilet.
And their seats warm.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yep.
We're obsessed with that part of the toilet where you're like, yes, warm butts.
Yep. Yep. And I even have a built-in
Would you
dishwasher
like
in
to
my house when I
adopt
bought it.
us?
Huh?
Can you adopt us? I'm willing to pay.
I got a spare bedroom. You can
He's
live.
like, I'm moving
Somebody
in
was
now.
like, Jeff, it's a toilet. And I'm sitting here like, but it's special.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Look,
Yeah.
it's the little things, okay? I'm a very tiny man.
Yeah.
I'm a very tiny man. If it
Yeah.
means warmth in
Yep.
any way,
Yep.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
My seat.
I'm wearing PJs right now, and it's
Yeah.
like 70 degrees in this house, and I'm still wearing PJs.
Yeah.
I'm usually wearing a hoodie too.
I got a Panasonic sink too, where you wash your hands. You can wash your hair. You can change the water pressure. You can do whatever you want.
Oh, God, we're so abused over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are actually emotionally and physically abused in the
Yeah.
United States.
Yep.
They
that
think
in
we're
my house.
special. I mean, they think that them picking up our trash on Thursdays is a commodity,
Yeah.
and y'all got heated toilets and stuff.
Yeah. I got two. I got one upstairs. I got one downstairs.
And she's got two, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah.
For us to get heated toilets, we have to hook up the hot water and not the cold water.
Yeah. There's a special plug that one goes straight, one goes sideways. So it's a special plug that plugs in the toilet. It's not what in
That's
the
a
bathroom.
damn shame.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
I live in a nice house, actually.
Yeah, yes you do. Yes you do. And I'm very jealous. Super jealous. And if you ever want to adopt an American family in need, I'm here.
Oh, and the
I'm
school
up
is
for
not too far away
adoption.
from here. We got an elementary school. We got a junior high school. The high school is a little bit further away. We got a post office box here. We got a sushi restaurant next to us. We got a pizza house next to us. We got a convenience store right across the street from us.
Yo,
too.
your convenience stores are, I could just eat at your convenience stores the rest
Yep.
of my
Yep.
life. I'll be fine.
I'm waiting to bring that up. Convenience stores here are different where that's like the first thing people miss when they go from Japan back to America.
Yeah.
Even on vacation, just because convenience stores here has restaurant quality food.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're vending machines. You're vending machines.
Yep.
You have sandwich vending machines.
Yep. We even have adult toy vending machines in Japan too.
I'm just, we are so abused over here.
Yeah.
Do not come home. Amanda, never come home. Never come home. If you ever come home, I'm just gonna be taking your place.
I live in a huge city, but you can't hear the traffic, right?
Jenny, my love, I love you.
It's really quiet where I live. Like you don't hear the cars, you don't hear the traffic. So I live in a little cul-de-sac, but it's nice and quiet. Like you don't hear anything. You don't hear traffic, right?
I would
My
live in one of those little cubicles. I'd be
my
okay.
extremely quiet. So it's really nice. You
But yeah, everybody, that's Jenny. That's the one I was talking about earlier.
yeah,
My bestie.
yeah.
I love you.
Um
But no, seriously, if I have the chance, I promise Japan's on my list. Japan is definitely on my hit list.
yeah.
Um, but it's only because my wife really wants to just pretty much just binge on your food.
Okay.
That's all she wants is the food.
Okay. No problem. You could stay at my house.
Oh, because we were really like we were trying to figure out like the hotel cubicles where it's literally you just
The
slide your body
capsule,
in and sleep.
capsule hotels.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay in a hotel.
Okay, we have castles here too, but do you have heated seats in Ireland? Yeah. One of our castles here actually inspired The Ring.
Hmm.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah,
The storyline, anyways. Yeah, they just
yeah,
obviously made The Ring more modern to
yeah,
now
yeah.
compared to the story back then and what it's based off of.
The one thing that I will never go to just out of respect is your forest.
Oh, why not? I'm going.
No, I can't. I can't
We're
do
going
that.
in.
I feel like
We're
it'd be
going in October.
disrespectful. Yeah, I feel like it'd be disrespectful
There
No,
to
is
go.
there is
not
a better part of that forest because
yeah.
a lot of people assume it's the whole forest. It's only a
No,
small part. So
yeah.
that's why my theory is there
There's
has to be like a portal there or something, or someone did a ritual there or something to not
yeah,
to attract that kind of energy just
yeah,
because they unalive themselves in that forest and they don't want to be alone. But the
yeah.
rest of the forest is funny because so that part of the suicide forest,
Hmm.
you hear no birds, nothing grows, there's
Yeah.
no animals, there's no snakes, there's nothing. You hear pure quietness.
Yeah,
Trees even grow in funky directions, like they might be twisted.
yeah,
It's just even scientists can't like we can't explain why trees keep growing these weird
yeah,
directions. But
yeah.
then there's another part of the forest where it's the complete opposite, where
Hmm.
people hike every day because it's beautiful and it's peaceful.
Yeah,
And it's the exact opposite. Birds chirp, flowers bloom. It
yeah.
feels peaceful. It's beautiful, and
Hmm.
it's so weird. It's a night and day difference in that one forest.
Yeah,
Really? I didn't know that because I've only seen and heard about that one section where people camp and there's a bunch of like cords for them to be able to remember how to get back and if they change their mind and there's rangers that go out there every single day to try to talk to the people to come back or to find people
hmm,
and I never of course it's intriguing, why would a person go there, such things, but never want to go there personally out of respect, you know?
Yeah, we're alone.
yeah. We're going not just to. It's just to document where it is and what we see. That's why we're going.
No, we wouldn't go alone either. That's why we're going together.
Oh,
But there's no way we'd
yeah,
be either one of us would be okay going alone in that section.
Yeah.
But I am willing. I am interested to feel if there is any portals there or anything,
yeah.
just because I'm
That's the reason
curious on what
we're going.
attracts that energy for that in that
Yeah,
area.
Yeah, Irene, don't. You really need to block yourself.
Oh,
You
it's okay.
really need to block yourself.
I there's things. Okay, Tokyo's a lot of suicides. Okay, I don't interact with them. I don't talk to them. But if they need help crossing over, I will help them do that. But I just don't interact with anything. Like on her side, it's a lot. It's just totally different, right? It's a different vibe. Um, but yeah, they come to me all the time, and I said, "Okay, take a number. See ya." Like
Yeah,
that's the way that I do it, and I'm not afraid of them. It's just you go to the train station. Yeah, there's a lot there too, and you sit on the train. Yeah, there's a lot there too. When you're on the train, you make goddamn sure that nobody does it when you're on the train. Yeah, I get that too. I had that happen to me too. Like just it's just a normal thing in Japan. Like
yeah, Jenny, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
I'm
really need to
so
prepare
darn
yourself.
used to it. I'm so darn used to it. Like,
I think Jeff is going to be too.
yeah, it's just nothing unusual for me. Okay, it's a way of life. Actually, it's like the earthquake. It's a way of life in this country. Yeah. Okay, another earthquake. Okay, good night. Move back to bed again. Like, it's just you
We
don't
all do.
really dwell on it. You don't really think about it. You don't really, it doesn't bother you. And it doesn't bother me. It took me a long time to get used to it, believe me. But yeah,
Yeah,
I've centered myself enough that I do meditate every day. Even when I'm watching TV, I sometimes just leave my body and just forget about everything
We
and I
will
come
meet you
back.
here.
Yeah.
everybody wants to deal with the toilets now. See, I'm not the only one. Like, that is
People are
so
you're gonna be
cool.
dreaming of heated butts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now everybody's just gonna go visit y'all just for the toilet experience.
You know what? In the wintertime, you're lucky that you sit on a nice warm toilet
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
a lot of
see?
older people who have died on the toilet because it's a shock to their system because it's so darn cold, right?
Yeah. Welcome to America. We don't have special things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Jeff
I
is like,
love
I am
it.
looking forward to that nice, long, warm experience.
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Feel like catch you in an hour. I'm okay. I'm
yeah,
warming up.
yeah, yeah. And I'm reading my comic. Like, don't bother me. I said, get out of the bathroom.
It's so advanced. Technology's so advanced.
Yeah, I don't even have faucets on my bathtub.
What?
Oh, you just press the buttons, Linares?
Yeah, I just press a button and the water goes in the bathtub.
Why are we living in the 19th century?
You want to see? I'll show it to you.
Why? Why can we not
Plus,
have
we don't
nice
understand
things?
how come you guys don't have some of that technology over there at this point. We're like, what? Why is no one not selling this stuff over there?
Wait,
Because they're more worried about taxes.
we got
We can't
taxes too, you
even
know.
we can't even get nice roads. We have gravel pits in areas. We You really think we're gonna have push button faucets?
Yeah, yeah.
We got potholes the size of Japan.
Talking crap. Yes, we are.
Okay, this is the same panels, all right, that we
Yeah.
have. 42 degrees centigrade. Our shower water is 42 degrees centigrade because it's still cold out, right?
Yeah, so that's like 72 here.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this is where you add cold water. You could add hot water or add more water in the bathtub, right? I got green water. I'm sorry about that. This is where you empty the bathtub, right? See, no faucet, right? This is where the water comes in, where it heats up the water. And the panel, the gas is outside this window.
You fancy person.
A
So fancy.
shower. You
And
shower
that's just
here.
something
You
that,
wash your
yeah,
hair here.
everyone's used to over here.
You wash your body here. and you warm up in the bathtub. See, my bathtub water is really warm now. And you shower here, take the soap off of your body, and you warm up in the bathtub and you get out.
Jenny, y'all got that in Ireland? You got that in Ireland? If you
Yeah. Oh, I want to show you this. Here. Just a second. I'll just turn. Oh, wait.
what is that, a fan?
Yeah. See?
Y'all
You
air
can dry
dry?
your clothes here when it rains. And the fan will come on. It's a heater. And see, this is also Panasonic. Turn it off and it goes away. Yeah.
I'm just upset. I'm just upset.
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
Because I'm living in medieval times.
It's like people would make a fortune selling this stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they would. Like, I know people who sell bathroom fixtures for a living, and they don't even have this. Where you have to
Yeah.
special order because no one buys it. And it's like, but if you had it more in stock and people saw it, I'm sure if you knew that was an option, if you're building a house and you came in and you
I
saw
don't
that
know
toilet
how.
as an option, you'd be like, order me this toilet.
Yeah.
What's the link? What's the StreamYard link?
The StreamYard link
Yeah.
to get in.
No, not to get in, but to watch it.
Oh, what are they on?
Facebook. My wife wants to watch it.
Okay, yeah. Let me. I'll send you this.
Okay, yeah, forward it to me.
Yeah.
But no, I feel abused and neglected by the U.S. government
Mm-hmm.
for not allowing us to have nice things. Um, I want my money back for all the taxes
Mm-hmm.
in my past 30 years of work experience,
Mm-hmm.
and I want a heated toilet, a push button bath,
Mm-hmm.
and a heated air dryer.
Yeah.
Um,
So rain's
for
outside.
my taxes next year.
Demands.
Yeah.
I have demands before you take my taxes next year. If you can't give me nice roads, you can give me a nice bathroom. Thank you.
It's easy to clean too. You don't need that really bleachy stuff to clean your bathtub because the wall is so easy to clean. You just need the like the regular soap that you use in the bathroom to clean it, and it just takes off all the scum and it's easy to clean. And there's no marble and there's no tiles in the bathroom.
You don't
Nothing
have to
like
deep clean like you would your bathroom to make it look clean. Yeah, I don't remember last time I actually deep cleaned my bathroom because it's so, like you said, it's so easy to clean.
yeah, yeah. And
I feel neglected.
it comes in a compartment, so it's like a little suite, a box, and they just install each portion, and they just use that tile glue, and then that's it. Your bathroom's made. Amanda, how much is 18 liters
18
Of
liters.
18 liters of what?
water?
Four quarts in a gallon.
Yeah,
So that would be 8 liters,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. 18 liters.
Yeah,
Our bathtub, our
18
bathtub carries that much water in the tub, so you can sit right up to here.
Yeah, usually it might be shorter than American tubs, but they're a lot deeper.
They're
Deeper.
deeper.
Mine's wide, longer, and mine's deeper, so you can sit right up to here.
I am so neglected.
You
I
can
need
stretch
I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right
Oh,
back. I gotta. I'll be right.
He's so bad at his background.
oh dear. Oh
Actually,
dear.
it is not. Uh, well, mine's not. I don't know about Irene's. Mine actually is not because we
Our water
pay.
bill's not that high. Our water bill's not that high at all. Our water bill's like maybe about 70 to 80 bucks a month. What?
Yeah, mine
Our,
is less than that.
our
So
water. What? Come on.
I don't know
Okay.
how that is where it's not higher, but it's just it's not higher here. Yeah.
Our 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 gas and our water bill's not that high. It's our electric bill that's high. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that is a paranormal cat.
yeah, yeah,
So when you talk about paranormal, that's when the cat has to stick its face in the camera
yeah.
and obviously put its 2 cents in with meows.
And
That
he's
cat, you will not,
it,
because it's a paranormal cat, you will not actually believe how old it is.
yeah. Hi, I'm 102 years old.
You said in human years, it's like 26 years old.
Yeah,
26 years old in human years.
yeah. He had his birthday in August too last year. So he's having another birthday in August this
Oh,
year.
you'll be 27 human
Yeah,
years, or whatever
yeah,
that is, cat years.
yeah. He's quite old and he's still eating. He looks good for his age.
Yeah.
Beyond 9 lives. I think he's past those 9 lives. Yeah, that's a good boy.
Oh, cat years. Is cat years the same as dog years?
It's times 6.
Times six in cat years? Yeah, no,
Yeah,
dog years, it's 7.
yeah. Come on. That's a good boy. Like you're gonna walk across the camera again and you can put your butt on the camera. I'm like, no thanks.
Sounds like kind of podcast. Ooh. Irene gets technical difficulties. She'll be back in a second. There she is.
There we go again.
And I was like, yeah, we're used to this with Irene. She talks spooky and spirits.
Yeah. And we got spirits coming in our portals here. We got spirits all over the place here. Like, yeah, I'm used to that. And I got my guardian angels here. Yeah. They're
Could have been
watching
the
it.
cat. Could have been the cat.
And we got the cat. Like, yeah, it's kind of busy. I already fed you, okay? Oh, man. Like, you already ate a lot, okay? Like, what else is there in life? You okay?
All right, I'm back.
Calling your congressman saying, I feel abused, like we're living in a third world country now.
I honestly though, I feel like that. Yes. No, it's amazing though how advanced you guys are when it comes to the things that you have to utilize in your everyday life.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you one more thing. When you buy a house, you own the property. You own the rights to the property, so nobody can do anything on your property without your permission.
How does that work?
Cause the
Like,
property, you could do whatever you want on your own property. You can grow whatever you want on your own property. You can add a house or whatever you want on your own property. You can put up whatever you want because it's your property and it belongs to you.
we can't even have chickens here.
And the the other thing is that the telephone line that you have, you own the rights to the telephone line, so it's yours.
The telephone?
Yeah, the line that's hooked up to your telephone, that's yours. You own the rights to the telephone line. You buy the line.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah,
But yeah, in certain areas you can't have certain things. Like we can't have chickens here because we live in the city limits.
yeah. Here
We
too,
have
we have a
we
certain.
have a neighbor who has goats in our backyard.
That would
So
make me so happy. I'd be like,
literally,
"Can I come over and pet your goats?"
Yeah,
literally, like anything goes here in Japan.
yeah,
If it's your property, you do it. You do you.
yeah,
You want to have goats? Have goats.
yeah. You want to have chickens? Have chickens.
Now, how do you communicate that with your neighbor?
You don't talk to our neighbor. What you do is
You don't like talk to your neighbors?
you do, but your neighbor does their own thing. You do your own thing.
You don't have to have your neighbor's permission to own goats.
No, or you don't have to have your neighbor's permission to put up a fence on your property.
Well, no, you can do that here.
Yeah, but whatever you do is you.
I do have a legitimate question though.
Yeah.
How much is it for your house?
M
By what?
5 million?
USD. But my house goes right up at the end of the property line, so my house is pretty big, and I have a garden in the front of my property, and I got my own parking lot too.
I'm poor.
But you see, I live in Tokyo. I live in Tokyo, right? But that's a steal. That was cheap.
Wow. Like that's really cool though. Like
Yeah,
no shame. That's really cool. Like I don't hate on you for that at all. I think that's really cool that you're able to have all that because over here in the US,
yeah,
no. That ain't it's not gonna happen. It's
yeah,
not gonna happen. Like you're living in year 300,000 compared to us.
yeah. It's really quiet too. My neighborhood is really quiet, and the airport is just north of us.
Can't wait to come visit.
Come on, visit.
Just be warned that I'll spend half my time in your bathroom.
And in my bathtub, right?
Be like, don't worry about me. I'm good. Oh, that's
Oh
just
yeah,
Jeff.
he's in the
He's
bathroom. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that's our
where,
bathroom
where's he?
buddy.
Oh, he's in the bathtub.
That's our bathroom buddy. That's Jeff. Don't worry about him.
Yeah,
He'll come
yeah,
out when he's hungry.
yeah. I'll bring you your coffee if you want a cup of coffee. I'll bring you a coffee to the bathtub too. We got a little plastic thing where my kids bought so you can watch your videos on your phone while you're sitting in the bathtub.
That's really cool.
He doesn't.
That's
He won't
cool.
ever have to leave the bathroom.
No, that's great. No, you don't you want to sightsee? No, I'm playing with gadgets. 5 minutes later, I'm like, I think I broke it.
You can't break it. You just have to reset it. That's all.
Well, that's good because I don't want to break anything. Hey, DOA, where are you at in the South?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, where did you
Yeah.
buy all that at that price?
You
Where are
know,
you at? Alabama? No, like no shame if you're from Alabama, but
no,
um,
no. You see, all the gadgets that we have in our house comes with the house.
Ah, Louisiana.
Louisiana. Oh,
Mm,
okay. I
yeah,
like Louisiana though. I like New Orleans.
yeah.
New
Or
Orleans is fun.
That's kind of neat to play. That's kind of neat place to visit too.
It is. New Orleans is a lot of fun. My wife and I got drunk like 2 hours into our vacation because we didn't realize what we were doing,
Hmm.
and we had to take a nap. Like, and sleep off the alcohol before we went and actually did anything.
Oh, you
We
like
learned
alcohol?
quick.
Then you like my moonshine. I'll give you lots of my moonshine. You'll just have fun.
Yes, sake. Give me some
No,
sake.
I got
Sake's
white
good.
liquor. I got white liquor.
Nice. Sake's fun.
It's stronger than sake. Oh, graveyards. Yeah,
That's all of Louisiana, pretty much.
yeah,
It's just swamps and
yeah,
plantations and graveyards,
yeah.
bayous,
Mhm.
alligators.
Yeah.
How you were in New Orleans, that's how I was in Key West. 4
Mhm.
days of nothing but being drunk.
I've got rum actually from Key West.
Oh,
I,
nice.
yeah. When we lived in Florida, we would take the Key West Express from Fort Myers Beach to Key West all the time.
Yeah.
You literally just jump on a ferry
Mhm.
and it takes you there and it delivers you, and then whenever you're ready to come home, you get back on the ferry and you come home.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Key West is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you visit Robert the Doll while you were there?
I didn't get to, but I wanted to.
Mm. You have to be careful with your energy when you visit that doll.
You have to ask permission
Yeah,
also.
cause
I spent way too much time with Robert to the point where my wife has banned me from being able to go back to the fort because of how attached I got to him.
oh wow.
I spent a lot of time with him, like a lot of time, and my wife's like, "No, like you've had enough. Don't.
It's
You're
funny
not going back."
because according to that museum, they still get a lot of apology letters every day to Robert the Doll.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. He has a very childlike aura,
Mhm.
but don't piss him off.
Yeah,
No.
that's why
Yeah.
people send him apology letters, is they took a photo without
Yeah.
asking him first, and he got mad, and they're like, "We've had really bad luck since, so tell him we're sorry."
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's one of those give and take type of a situations. Like, is it every single one of them legitimate? Probably not. You just had bad luck that day. You
Yeah.
got in a car accident. You know, something bad happened to you. That's
Yeah.
Check your energy.
everyday life experiences that you're. It's a
Yeah.
possibility for you to encounter.
But people don't think about themselves and how they are internally before they do something stupid or silly or whatever.
Yeah. Where me, I just interacted him way too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. I wanted to know everything that I could.
Apologize for seeing it. Why?
Why?
Like people
Why?
are just paranoid now.
Yeah.
No, no, you don't. I have pictures of Robert.
That's what I was
Yeah.
gonna
A
say.
l-
I'm like, I feel like people are just being overly paranoid. Like, oh, I can't look at a picture of him, or he's gonna come after me. And it's like, what?
It's not
Yeah.
Chucky. He's not
Yeah.
How to
Chucky.
explain it? If you
No.
took a, yeah, he doesn't care who views the photo.
Yeah.
And it's not even really who took the photo.
Yeah.
It's did you like make fun of him?
Yeah.
Were you instigating? Were you
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, what you gonna do if I take your photo?" I've taken photos of him.
Yeah.
I have pictures on our crossover page on Facebook of Robert.
Hmm.
It's it's just like
So,
anything else. You don't poke the bear and expect not to get bit.
Yeah. Exactly. Like I deal with a lot of haunted dolls too. I talk to them. I read them. I ask questions. They answer questions. They answer me back, and there's nothing wrong with the haunted doll. It's just, it's different. It's just has a spirit in it. And if you respect it, they'll respect you back. And
And actually the doll Robert originally was supposed to be a kind of a
I love your
memento
pettiness.
friend. I
yeah,
started sending pics
yeah.
of him every day.
I love that pettiness.
So Robert was given to him by his nanny.
Yeah.
And something happened with the his parents thinking that he was too old for dolls. He was getting too attached to the doll, and tried to force him to get rid of the doll. And his parents took the doll and put it upstairs in the attic,
Mm,
and got it away from um, their son. Well, the son goes off and goes to uni, and gets married, and
mm-hmm,
his parents die, and he goes back into the house and realizes that Robert's upstairs
mm-hmm,
in the attic. So he brings Robert back down, and then he starts interacting with Robert again,
mm-hmm,
and becomes attached to him again, and does everything with Robert. And
mm-hmm,
you know, lo and behold, Robert takes on his own energy,
mm-hmm. Yep.
takes on his own spirit. And, it's kind of like Indian lore, where a person can put an energy out into the world, and that energy takes a form within itself.
Mm-hmm,
And now Robert has his own energy and has
mm-hmm,
taken on his own form.
mm-hmm.
And that's the story of Robert.
Yeah.
There's no actual voodoo. Uh, it's
No.
not a cursed doll.
No.
It's just a doll that now has its own energy and its
Mm-hmm,
own life force
mm-hmm,
because of the passion and the love that was given to him
mm-hmm.
through his lifetime.
Yeah.
And just like anything else, don't
Mm-hmm.
poke the bear and nothing bad will happen to you. It's not that Robert can literally curse you and say you're going to die in a car accident today because you pissed me off. But at the same time, don't put that bad energy out there and expect bad energy not to come back to you. It's like karma.
Yeah. It's like with anything that you do, you put your intentions in it, meaning that you put yourself in it. Whatever you do comes out that way. From a piece of object to whatever, a doll to a stuffed animal, it works that's the way it works. And you got to be very careful of what intentions that you put in something, because you might not like it in the end.
Exactly. Exactly. Just like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't dabble in
Yep.
Yes,
anything.
Yep.
we see that all the time.
Yeah.
If you don't know what you're doing, don't do it.
Yep.
Or
Yep.
don't do it until you know what you're doing. Learn from somebody else the proper techniques. It's kind of like
Yep.
the whole concept of the Ouija board.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Technically, the Ouija board is just a park and gamble game.
Yep. Yep.
It's what you put into it. And
Yep.
if you don't know what you're doing,
Don't do it.
bad things can happen. It's just like working on a car. You're not going to change your brakes if you don't know how.
Yeah.
You're going to take it to somebody else to do it,
Yeah.
right? It's the same concept.
People
Yeah.
don't understand that. That's also why I say in the show too that's why I hated Halloween, just because people are like, well, it's because the veil's thin. I'm like, well, the veil is thin, but that's because people make it thin. Because
Yeah.
people are like, oh, it's spooky month. I have to get a Ouija board. I have to do a seance. It's that month. You're supposed to do it. I'm like, this is why that veil is thin, is because you made it thin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it depends on what your upbringing teaches you, also.
Mm, yeah.
Okay. It's like you're raised Baptist. All right. You growing up were taught probably that Halloween is, um,
Evil.
yeah, a non-Christian holiday. You're
Yeah.
playing with spirits. You're not supposed to play with spirits. You're not supposed to, celebrate Astra and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So you were taught that that was bad. Where people in Mexico with the Day of the Dead, that
Mm,
is one of their biggest holidays where
mhm.
they celebrate their ancestry and they
We
go and visit
did
their
that
ancestry.
here, it's the most
But
haunted month. It's in July. Here it's in July. Where I'm at, it's in August. and the air is so thick you can feel it, like it just right here. I don't like this month. I hate it.
Well, that's like Salem, Massachusetts over here during the Day of the Dead and Astra and all that. They have a huge,
Yeah,
huge celebration
yeah,
for the spirits and the ancestors. And if you're there and you experience it,
yeah,
you feel the vibration through
yeah,
the whole town.
yeah, yeah,
You can't tell me that that's not real,
yeah,
because if you believe it and you feel it, even if you don't believe it, you'll feel it because of the
yeah,
power that people can project. The
yeah,
energy
yeah,
is all around you. There's no way that you can't be like, wow,
yeah,
that's intense.
yeah.
I love it. I love experiencing things like that.
I don't, because it's on my birthday.
Well, it's a different tradition here, and Irene can tell you where they make a meal and they leave a meal out for their ancestor, food and drink,
Yeah,
and at midnight they go out and they have to wash wash the
The headstone.
graveyard. Yeah, the
You pick up leaves. You put new flowers out. You burn incense, and you put food out for them.
that's good though. That's maintaining
Yep.
the area. That is like, I wish we did that here,
yeah the only
because there's gravestones that are falling apart, and the land is just horrible. It's
yeah.
got weeds and trash, and it's horrible. I wish people did that here.
But you do it at midnight.
So,
And Japanese graves are really haunted. You know that.
and
Japanese
who
graves are
who are you
different.
looking for? What you looking for? Aunt Thelma? She's 3 rows back and two to the left.
Yeah.
That's what I think about every time I see the meme of, if you had to work alone in a cemetery for $80 an hour, would you? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would know everybody by name, and they would know me.
People would be out there, investigations like, do you have a relative here? I could probably tell you where the grave is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who are you looking for?
There's one famous grave that if you ever do come, I'll take you to. It's in Aoyama Cemetery. It's in Tokyo, the heart of Tokyo. It's a big cemetery. It's really dark. It's really gloomy. But you can go in there. You better bring breadcrumbs because you won't be able to come out. And the cemeteries here are kind of different. Everyone's buried above ground.
Yeah, because of the floods.
No,
It's
because
also a
the
land
land,
space issue.
the land. So everyone's buried together. Like you have grandma, grandpa, son, wife, daughter, and children,
All in one.
all in one.
Well, if you're cremated down to your bones, so it's your bones, not
Yeah,
body.
yeah,
Well,
and you,
that's like New Orleans. They
yeah,
they actually cook, the bodies end up cooking in the mausoleums because it's so hot. And when the next one dies, they just like sweep the bodies to the back, and then they fall down the chute, and the next one sits until it's cooked. And then it's like a pizza oven.
oh darn, it gets hot here too. So yeah, everyone's above ground, and that's why it's so darn haunted. And you have samurai warriors who are killed or had were taking their heads chopped off, and yeah, they're in graves. They're alive in their graves. Yeah, yeah, you can visit them.
There is certain graves here just for like the heads. It's mostly samurai heads that they bury to
Yeah,
appease their spirit.
they don't have a body; they just have their head.
Yeah, there is a famous one in Tokyo where it's a little shrine, and it
Mm.
just has the samurai's head buried in it.
Yeah,
I didn't know all that.
yeah,
So as the story goes, the samurai led a revolt against the emperor. He was beheaded. So the emperor, as a warning, beheaded him, and they displayed their head in Kyoto.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is though is somehow, and they don't know how, that the head went from Kyoto back to Tokyo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People are claiming they saw the head float in the air to
Yeah.
Tokyo. So that's
Yeah.
why there's that the urban legend of the flying head in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
It's him, because
Yeah.
that's what people say. Like, oh, I saw the head flying, and they assume that must have been how he got from Kyoto to Tokyo. Because no one's admitting they took his head and brought it
Yeah.
back to Tokyo.
Yeah.
So they made this shrine. They put his, they buried his head in it to appease his spirit, so his head's not keep floating around Japan.
Yeah.
And then because it's in Tokyo, it's such a nice prime real estate location.
Mm-hmm.
They started they tore down they tore down the shrine to build like office space there, but they said everyone who was part of that project and even the surrounding office buildings all had really bad luck, also got a really bad sickness. So they rebuilt the shrine and reburied the head to appease it, to stop his revenge, basically.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
You
cool.
you literally need a a clairvoyant to buy anything in this country. To buy a house, you need a clairvoyant to check the land before you buy a house, because 90% of the land is haunted.
That's okay. I wa like I watched one video where the guy had a lady screaming outside of his house every single night.
Mm,
Every single night.
yeah.
This entity would scream
Mhm.
outside his house. And he finally moved. He couldn't take anymore. He
Yeah.
actually moved.
Yeah.
That
Saw a
video
video where this
freaks
guy
me
finally
out.
moved. I saw a
Yeah.
video where this guy finally moved because every night he had a baby crying in the basement. And
Yeah.
he would even go show videos of there's absolutely nothing in this basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy did this too, except for it was outside his house, and he even like threw water outside
Mhm.
to see if it would splash on anything. I mean, he tried to debunk it as much as he could, and he analyzed the crap out of it, the time,
Mhm.
how long it would scream and cry,
Mhm.
and I was like, I would have moved too.
Yeah. Um, I used to live in a haunted place too for 20 years. Couldn't handle it. Everyone got sick. Everyone had to be rushed to the hospital in the ambulance. Couldn't handle it anymore. He said, "That's it. We're moving." We had to move. It was just too much. It was.
Yeah,
It was a suicide condo, and we
I,
bought it. We bought the suite, and I said, "Yeah, don't want to do that anymore." I couldn't find any information. I couldn't find any of the information on the land. I couldn't find anything. And for the real estate company, it's just like a lost cause. I said, "Forget it." And I said, "Forget it. Yeah, we're moving." So we sold that land, and we bought this house afterwards. I said, "Yeah." That's why I wanted to live in a clean house. I didn't want to live in any haunted houses anymore, because for 20 years I had enough. Like we're lucky we're alive for 20 years, because our next door neighbor died, the lady downstairs died, and everyone keeps on dying around us. They either had a heart attack or they had cancer or whatever, and we know they killed them, right? So we said, no, not doing that anymore. We're moving. So we moved. Like
that's horrible.
our kids would be so uptight like this. You couldn't laugh. You couldn't say anything. You couldn't even write anything down on a piece of paper, because they'd read it and they'd react to it.
Mm,
And we had portals in our balcony. We had portals in our in our hallway. We had portals in my son's room. Yeah, it was just too much. And I didn't learn that I could do this until after I was living there, and I got possessed twice, but I don't know what. I told my son, yeah, you can go blank off. Like I said that to me. He goes, what? I said, yeah, blank off. And he said, Mom, are you there? I go, who's she? And like I said, yeah, you can go to HELL. I told my son that. And he goes, whoops, that's not you. And he had to get rid of it twice. So and every 6 months I get something attached to me and I get haunted. So I didn't want to do that anymore. So that's why I said, yeah. My son said, we gotta leave. We gotta move.
Yeah, I would too.
And it was and a dark spirit sat right next to me, right next to my couch, and they said, don't you dare talk about where you lived. Don't you dare talk about me. And I said, yeah, you can go blank off too. And he finally left. Like, yeah. And it's only 45 minutes from where I live, right? You can
That's
go
too
there.
close.
You can go there by car. Yeah, by car it's only 45 minutes from where I live.
Yeah, it's too close.
I could even take you there.
No, thank you. I'm fine. Thanks. I'm good.
You could see full body apparitions. My son said, when we just moved, and my son said, oh, I see this guy jumping off this building. And go, what building? Our building? He goes, yeah. I go, get back in this house. And my son's really bad. Yeah, he's a touchy feely person too. Like all my kids are like that, right? All my kids see spirits. All my kids do that. My husband is the only person that says, "Yikes, you guys are scary." Like,
Yeah, you can keep that to yourself.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I don't tell anybody what I do.
Here
I
in Japan, here in Japan, we don't have record keeping like there is in the United States. You can, United States, you find a building or a property, you can go and find research, old owners, everything like that. You
Yeah.
can't do that here. There is no place.
no
You can't find newspaper articles. You can't find
no
any records of any property. It
no.
just does not exist here.
hmm And we saw a property that we were looking at before we bought this place. There's a hand coming out of the ground, and he said, and my son said, "Yeah, we're not buying that property." And they were selling these lots so you can build your own house on it. And then my son said, yeah, not doing that, not doing going here. He goes, are you kidding? He goes,
Yeah, no, I would definitely take his word for that.
yeah. He said, I said, yeah, but it's calling me. I have to live there. We started fighting like for 3 hours straight. And my son said, hey, stop it. Yeah, you can't do that. And he said, well, buy this house, buy this house. And he goes, okay, we'll buy this house. Yeah, it was like you got to be really careful because the only time when you'll learn about certain places or certain properties is from an elderly person, right? The
Yeah.
person who, like 70 or 80 years old or even 90 years old, they'll tell you urban legends, but I bet you 90% of the urban legends are true,
Yeah.
and they'll tell you about certain things that happened long time ago and things like that, and they'll sit you down and you till your ear falls off, right?
Yeah.
They'll tell you about it, and you know what?
Well, that's how you know about the history of places
Yeah,
here is you
yeah,
find an elder
yeah,
and you know and the little old man sitting there and he'll tell you stories all day long
yeah,
and that's how you find out about the truth behind the local lore and legends and things like that. You find the oldest person that you can
hmm,
and you talk to them about it and see what they really have to say.
yeah,
Yeah.
And that's some of my research for locations and stuff like that. And I'll go to like a museum or to local library or you know coffee shop,
yeah,
and find out who's been there the longest and try to
mhm,
track them down. And you know sometimes they're in a nursing home, sometimes they're with their family, or you ask them, you're like, hey, tell me what about tell me about this if you can. And that's how you'll find out about the history of the town is you find
it,
the oldest person there and you hope that they are coherent enough
yeah.
to
But
tell you about the history that they grew up with.
yeah. You find that their family thinks that they're crazy because they know the thing. They think that they're good, they have dementia, but actually no, they do know. It's they don't, they may be in their own space, but they do know. And it's they're not crazy, right? They do know, and they can tell you stories, proper stories about it. And they're not crazy. You just have to listen to them. You can get a lot of information out of them.
They've
There are
either seen it or their family members seen it or stories passed down. That's how here a lot of the urban legends are. Like we have our own different kind of Bigfoot here, where
Yeah,
he's only ever been
Yeti,
seen. He's
right? You
well.
got
There's
Yeti.
another one. Yeah, there's another one here.
he be gone.
Yeah, he's only 5 feet tall, but his feet are like 10, 10 inches long and 6 inches wide.
Yeah,
And he smells like rotten flesh, is what they said. And it's in a smaller town up in the Hiroshima area
yeah.
where if you really want to talk to someone, it's someone who their families has seen it or they have seen it or their families have seen it. You can do a small tour of the areas where they were seen the most. And it's from the families of people who's actually seen this thing. Because we don't have anyone here out here trying to investigate the cryptids out here.
No.
We don't have teams.
Why? Y'all got some of the best ones.
We do. We just don't have like
You
back in America. You can always find someone looking for the Bigfoot. We don't have that here, unfortunately.
Like, they study it for a little while, but they don't have any funding to study it further, so it gets lost in the paperwork back when. And um yeah, we don't talk about paranormal in this country.
Hmm.
Even though it's there, we don't talk about it. um
isn't it supposed to be like what do they call them? The spirits. If you talk about them, then you're giving them power, right?
no, it's just that people are afraid. The young people are really afraid. They don't like.
And you cuss them out.
mm, you just don't.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't talk about it, period.
Like you're supposed to cuss them out because if you cuss them out, you're gaining power, and you're not giving them power or something like that.
No, people are afraid of being. They're very respectful to the spirits or to the ancestors, but it's something like you don't want them in your home. You don't want to invite them. You don't want to have anything to do with them. You're just being really quiet about it. Like, I'm very quiet about what I do. I don't tell a soul what I do. My neighbor, two neighbors knows what I do, and that's it. One doctor, two neighbors know what I do, and that's it. My neurologist, that I get headaches, he's an old man, so he understands what I do. But yeah, other than that, nobody else knows. I
Hmm.
keep my. I don't want to be put in a loony bin, or I don't want anybody to think that I'm wacko or crackers or nuts. That's why I
Yeah,
say.
but you guys, I thought y'all really like it was an open thing. Like everybody there was conscious of the spirits.
Mm-mm.
Like it was part of your
It's a part of our
upbringing.
life. It's a part of
Yeah,
life. It's a part of our upbringing. But they don't want. They don't want. If you know, that's fine. But they don't want it in their house. Let's put it that way.
hmm.
So I keep my mouth quiet. My son doesn't say anything. My daughter doesn't say anything. My other son doesn't say anything, even though he does. He freaked out his teacher. He said, there's a girl in the music room. Let's go and check it out." The teacher said, "Nope. Can you come with me? I gotta go pee." And he goes, "Why do I have to go with you to the bathroom to go pee?" He goes, "Because I'm scared."
Because of the spirits.
Yeah, he freaked out. The teacher freaked out. He had to go with him while he took go to the bathroom. He said, "Okay, we're going. Let's go. What time's it? 5 o'clock. Yeah, we're done. Bye." That teacher never went back. I think he transferred himself out of a different school. I think. Yeah, the schools are here at Conta too.
What does that mean?
My son's school is haunted.
Oh,
Yeah, my young son's school is haunted. It's a big property in Tokyo. You can see Tokyo Tower from it. It used to be a farmland, and it was the old lady and her husband. Her husband went to war. It was during the that time, and she had a daughter out of wedlock. She thought her daughter would be a real pain in the butt, being messing with their life, so she threw her daughter down the well. And after she died, the property was sold to a developer, and they built the school on top of it. And the well is in the middle of the gymnasium. She haunts the school. I've seen her.
oh my God.
I told her, you can't do this. Like, my son just got accepted to the school. He passed the entrance exam, and he said, and then he didn't know about the school being haunted. And I said, and I told, and this guy in the gymnasium was doing this. He was doing this. He was going, oh, please not me, not me. And he had all this, he had all these crystals wrapped around his arm, right? He was doing this like that. And I said, hey, you can't do this to this guy. Look at this face. Poor guy, he's being haunted by you. Stop it. And I said, if you don't stop it, I'm gonna banish you from this property, okay? So you gotta stop it. She goes, what? I thought it was fun. I said, no, it's not fun for him. And I can tell, I can see you like you can't do this. You gotta stop this right now. She goes, and I said, leave. He goes, okay, I'll leave. And she was 14 years old, right? When she died. And so she left, and nothing happened. My son said, and he said, well, I had to do my business in the bathroom on the third floor, right? And he said, yeah. I said, yeah. And he goes, somebody went knock, knock, knock on the stall door. And he goes, there was nobody in the room. There's nobody in the bathroom except him. He goes, all of a sudden my hair on my arm went up, and the hair on my back went up. He goes, like that. And he said, and he just kept really quiet. He finished his business, washed his hands, went back to the classroom, came running home. He goes, Mom, my school's haunted. Do you know that? I go, well, kind of, yeah, I knew. And he goes, why did you tell me? He said, well, I didn't want to scare you, right? He goes, Mom. I go, and my husband said, well, Mom knows. And he goes, yeah. And he goes, where is she? I mean, well, in the middle of the gymnasium is the well, and that's where she was thrown down the well. And he goes, what? And I go, yeah. He goes, I'm not going to the bathroom anymore in that school. I'm going to go to next door to the convenience store when I have to go to the bathroom. I go, well, you're going to lose your kidneys if you do that. And he goes, I don't give a hoot. So, yeah, he doesn't have to go to school every day. They just have to do it through his iPad. And yeah, he freaked out. I mean, he was sitting there. He said, I was white as a sheet. They said, I didn't want to do this. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this. But they had prayers written on the well, but they uncovered that they threw out the prayers. They opened up the well and they unleashed her. And she still haunts the school even to this day.
That's like the ring, right? That's the
Yeah.
the ring, the ring
And
lore.
and you can't. You have to either put her back or you have to get rid of her. The only way you can get rid of her is put her back in the well and just seal up the well. But that means you have to get rid of the gymnasium floor to do that.
Well, I mean, I think I'd be making a new floor.
Yeah,
I'd
but
rather
yeah, the well
rebuild a
is in the middle of
floor.
the. Yeah, it's just like yeah. So she haunts the bathroom. She haunts the boys' bathroom. She haunts everywhere. It's just like yeah. I know it's haunted. He goes, Mom, you gotta tell me these things. I go, well, you can see them, can't you? He goes, yeah, I can see them. I go, well, You tell her then. He goes, uh-uh.
Yeah, I
It's a
tried that
lot.
with my ex. All
That,
right, y'all. It's 9:30 here. I've got to be up in the morning at seven
okay.
o'clock for work.
Yep,
Um, it's been awesome though. I
It's
would
been,
love to do
we'll
this again.
definitely invite you to
yep,
come back on the show. We've been having a lot of fun, so we'll get with
Yeah,
you on coming back to the show.
and
yep.
I concur, Irene. You just need your own show. Like
Yeah.
you need your own TikTok, the story TikTok with Irene.
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
don't like.
great.
Yeah, I just don't tell anybody anything. Like I know a lot of things. I just have to keep it with me till it does
Oh,
come
thank
to me
you.
when
Thank
I
you.
said. Yeah,
But yeah, no, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so
yeah,
much for having me.
Thank you.
It's
We
been
thank,
appreciate
great.
you coming. All right,
yeah.
everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.